Action. Ready?
Yep.
Hey. Afternoon and welcome to the second installment of Two Lawyers Drinking Beer and Talking Law Liberally.
Anyway, you're here with Joe O'Keefe and Ryan Gilman, and we're going to cover...
I'm Joe O'Keefe. That's Ryan Gilman.
Right. Anyway, so you're here with us this afternoon. What are you drinking this afternoon, Joe?
We're at FH Beerworks, and I got to tell you, they have a good day IPA that it just makes for a phenomenal day. And, of course, the most excellent management of Ms. Monica.
Shout out to Miss Monica. Anyway, I'm having a paperwork because that is what I did all day, paperwork. I thought it was I pick names. It's just like horse racing. I'll just go down the form and whatever the best name is.
I wish they had
$2.
Given all the paperwork I got to get through this week, I wish they had a bonfire. That would work better.
We can arrange for that.
Yeah, I know.
It's very dry, very dry. Anyway, so Joe, what have you been working? We're very important people.
Hey, speaking of which, the court is on the phone and Chris is setting a hearing.
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, just making sure. By the way, to all of you who saw this is because this arm's brand new. This one was new in October. I'm not like a ne'er-do-well.
No, he's actually the $6 million man, quite literally, at this point.
That's probably very true with all the money that is.
There's a lot of inflation. Who was the guy who did the original $6 million man?
That's what's his name? Lee Majors.
Yeah, Lee Majors. I feel like that.
He also did the tough guy. He did the tough guy. Do you remember that?
I do not remember the tough guy.
Oh yeah, where he drove around in the GMC pickup truck, short bed pickup truck with the, fall guy, tough guy, fall guy.
Well, I'll get on the hook with the good people at Nick at Night and tell them to start playing that
related. Just so y'all know. I wasn't being rude.
No, it's true. I'll tell you what was that. I've been trying to get a hold of a court clerk all day long in order to set a hearing, and we come over here and what happens? The court calls. So
it's the magic of the hops.
It's the magic of the hops. Hot magic.
It's true. It's the magic.
Peter Rabbit relied on that as well, I think.
Here's an interesting legal trivia fact that most people don't know. The first police force in the country was established in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And you know when? During the Constitutional Convention.
Rowdy bunch that had to be regulated.
You know why? Because they couldn't get a quorum. Everybody was in the bars drinking, so they brought a bunch of thugs with billy clubs and sent them into the bars. It's a proud tradition for a lot of my friends who are Philly cops. They're proud of it.
I mean, they should be proud. I mean, I feel like busting heads at the Constitutional Convention really goes to show that busting heads is a police tradition, no matter how wealthy or esteemed you are in society. But
you know what? You don't want to get your ass beat by the popo? Don't be an asshole. And you won't. It's pretty simple.
Anyway.
Well, we differ on this.
Yes. Joe and I differ on a lot of things.
We do.
Joe is not as much of an anarchist, burn it down as I am, but
I am far from an anarchist, burn it all down. I'm sorry. I raised my kids to respect the men and women in blue because guess what? They're the only thing between us and short, brutish, and nasty. Now, if you want to allow me and everybody else to have guns and just settle things that way, how would that turn out?
That is still the law of the land. I mean, honestly, the police don't have a duty to protect you. So that's why. I mean, honestly.
They may not have a duty to, but didn't you watch that other show in the 70s, Protect and Serve?
No, I can't. No, Joe, I
name one cop who doesn't think he's out there protecting, or she doesn't think
who thinks they are. And I'm not saying that even some horrific cops who do horrific things don't go out there and think they're not doing it for the right reasons. I really hope that the cops who go out there and do horrific things think they're doing it for the right reasons. Because they're not that big of sociopaths.
But they're not that much different from the guys they're chasing after. Some of them.
Oh well, no. I mean, it's a thin line. I mean, but at the same time, when we talk about police and the interaction with our own lives, it's on a gradient. We have kind of the petty indignities of red light cameras.
First of all. Wait a minute. We're talking we, but we're two white guys. Let's be clear. It's entirely different.
Well, it is.
Every state I know in the union, DWB is definitely an issue, or DWR.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, the last 3 times I've been pulled over, warnings every single time. So, I mean, I'm just like every other kind of white guy.
I developed a relationship with the local cops who do speed traps. When I blow through them, I just wave and smile and keep on going like I did nothing wrong. Because usually there's somebody behind me who's going slower that can get first. Not that I recommend it.
I would recommend it.
In those very
though.
hypothetical few situations. When
I would recommend it, and when you get pulled over, call the Dickson Law Group at 719-888-5882.
Yes, we do handle speeding tickets. And, wait a minute, we also handle red light tickets. Now, here we go, hot topic in the Springs. All right, the same people who bring you some of the most screwed up traffic light signals and timing I've ever seen in my life are now installing red light cameras.
I think it's honestly a logical progression.
It's a revenue generation.
I have never seen
It's pure revenue generation.
Colorado Springs has the biggest red light running problem I've ever seen.
That's why. So I come back from back east. I'm originally back east, 53 years. I move out here. I don't have a single thing against my record on my driving record. Neither does my wife. Our insurance rate's double. 2 reasons. Number one part of a state, not even the state, but the number 1 area in the country for running red lights, and then 2, hail damage. Right. Now, let's talk about the red lights in this thing. Because you know what? I've been around here long enough to know how these lights are timed. It's bullshit. It's revenue generation, and it's also designed to invent probable cause. There's many a night when I would be coming back from our former evening radio show, and I'd be driving down Academy Boulevard, and I got to tell you, you have lights that literally would let one car through, and at every intersection is a cop sitting waiting.
Oh yeah, those are always my favorite.
I mean, my wife in the morning gets up early to go to the gym and is out the door before 5 a.m. And there's one light that she hypothetically runs because she'll sit there for 20 minutes and then it only lets one car through. Now, that's programmed. And Colorado Springs Independent ran an article about the lady who I don't know if she still does it, but whoever it was that was responsible for programming these lights told them a whole bunch of Boulder Dash that they proved wrong.
Oh yeah, the much maligned traffic engineer is now the former traffic or
I can tell you right now, there is absolutely positively amateur hour when it comes to coordinating these red lights. And now they're throwing cameras on it. Well, that's just ticket generation.
Oh yeah, and if you want my honest opinion about these red light cameras, they're horse shit.
Well, you know how. But here's the issue: how are they going to make it stick? They're going to have to tie it to the vehicle, or they're going to have to put something in when you register your vehicle saying that you agree to be responsible. Because
that's what they already do.
What if I decide I'm going to take Ryan's car, and being the pigsty that it already is, I say screw it, and I'm just going to blow through every red light I can. And then what? Now Ryan's going to get the ticket, not me.
Yeah, and I think that's
they don't know me from Adam.
No, and that's the biggest, I think, bullshit of the entire thing. I think it when we talk about responsibility, it's about personal responsibility, and I feel like in that example,
I still haven't even figured out how this toll situation in this state works.
Well, those are fun.
Well, I don't know how. I can guarantee you, I've blown through the bypass to get to Denver International a couple times. I've never gotten a bill.
Oh no, they send your bill to you have to make sure you have. I'm telling you, I've gotten plenty of. That's why I finally got.
I've never gotten a bill.
Transponder.
I mean, I had a transponder back east.
Oh no, you have to have a special Colorado transponder. They don't do the easy pass thing where you can have like one for all these states. It's a special Colorado thing, and it's funny because we only really have 2 toll roads. But one of them is if you're coming from the Colorado Springs to the Denver airport, that happens to be one of them. However, pros use 225 to get to the airport. All you have to do, drive a little further through the tech center, get on 225, gets you right to the airport. Colorado local pro tip for Joe O'Keefe.
There we go.
But it's the same.
Back to red lights.
But it's the same deal. And, and things with like red light.
Think about it. All right, so, okay. Now, Colorado Springs has announced for the second time, starting today, I believe, that they have installed red light cameras. Now, what these do is that there's like photo cells, whatever they call them. So when you go through a red light, it's going to take a picture of your license plate. And then, theoretically, you'll be getting a ticket in the mail, or up until I think May, you'll get a warning in the mail tied to your license plate. But here's the point. What if I loan my car to a friend? What if it was my wife driving and not me? Are these civil or are they criminal in this?
Well, no, these have to be civil because the issue is.
Well, if they're criminal, they'd have to specifically identify.
If they're criminal, good luck getting the picture into evidence.
Right.
Because nobody can testify, nobody can authenticate it. to say that is an accurate reflection of the scene. See, that's my biggest issue with the kind of the automation of law enforcement, is that we have rules of evidence that require someone that we can put under oath in order to verify the authenticity
he
of it.
speaks the truth. So one of the guys I also practice law with is Frank the Badger Farina. He's about 5'4", plays a tuba, Washington Redskins marching band, and we call him the Badger for a reason. But anyway, he got one of these red light camera tickets in New York, and we kicked the shit out of them when they came after him, because number one, they couldn't prove who was driving. Number two, just like Ryan said, he swore he came to a complete stop before he went and turned. They couldn't show that. It was just a shit show, and what it came down to is there's like one or two manufacturers of these red light camera systems in the country, and they go into counties like El Paso County and promise them increased revenue.
Oh no,
it's that simple.
And honestly, they split the money. A lot of these agreements between the manufacturers and the municipalities basically give them bounties for as much. And I am fundamentally opposed of using bounties as a tool of law enforcement. That is some 1888 bullshit. But
well, one could argue when you combine with the poor timing of the lights, it's entrapment.
Oh, I think it is, and I think but that's the thing is like I think it also leads to more accidents. I think because the thing is like when I don't know.
Although I got to tell you something. I'm an old guy, and I wrecked. Believe me, if it has wings or it has tires, I've come close many times. I've never seen people drive the way they drive out here. People are freaking insane the way they drive out here. It's nuts.
Yeah, and
don't blame the weed. You can't get that stupid on weed. Honest to God.
No, it's impatience, and Colorado Springs. It's just like so many other places.
Well,
in the
impatience
state.
because they have the lights programmed. There's many intersections in town, as Colorado Springs Independent reported, where you'll get one car, maybe two, through the light. And these are not minor intersections. These are major intersections. So some could say maybe people's resistance around here with red lights has been a byproduct of being victimized by the way they have been
Well, and I think
programmed.
that there's another issue when we talk about traffic infrastructure. It's how many people move here. I think people get more impatient as their commute times increase. And honestly, impatient people are going to be the ones who are running the red lights and causing the accidents. That's because this is someone who has caused an accident by running a red light.
Ouch.
Okay?
Ouch.
So, a long time ago, but I have.
Careful, you got a law license. Watch
And
yourself.
this was prior to that. They know all about it.
All right then.
Actually, that's a real funny story. It happened in Boulder, Colorado on Halloween. No police officers even responded to the scene, and it took 4 hours for a tow truck to
You know
get
what?
there.
I don't know. This is the other thing about this state. So you get some snow. Now, I'm from back east. This is the first winter I haven't had to jump in a plow and keep properties open since I've been probably 15, 16, 17 years old. And out here, nobody plows. Okay, elevated roads, it comes quick, it hits hard. I can understand that. But then you get people who think they can just drive in this shit without proper equipment. Then and they can't. You can't. The only thing I've seen worse is Atlanta, Georgia in this snowstorm.
Well, and that's a big, again, that's why, we have a law that says, if you try to go up I-70 Vail Pass without good tires in the winter, you get stuck.
No. There was just another thing in the Colorado Springs Independent where they're saying that, like, snow chains, all-wheel drive, etc., is going to be, like, mandatory. Like, not just during, like, certain times. All the time.
Do you want to know my conspiracy theory about that?
They're in bed with the chain industry?
Exactly. And the only place in the United States that actually manufactures tire chains is a factory in Pueblo.
Oh, no, that's badass.
So
no, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm all for those type of conspiracies. Here you go. You know why? Because when I get back, I have to fly back east, and then I will be shipping back a Primo 1976 CJ7 304 fuel-injected V8. That's screaming for a set of tire chains and the next whiteout.
Which one is going to come tomorrow?
Ow, please.
We'll see. Joe's
You're supposed to get high winds. Batten the hatches. Make sure that Ruth Bader Barksburg has her little door shut and locked, because she may blow away.
So Joe continually gets my dog's name wrong. It's Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She has an Instagram at RBG Doggy.
It's not like her name is anything.
Definitely not. I wouldn't be that offensive.
Yes, well, that's true.
I would just want to honor the great Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is, hey, I mean, honestly, who I think has a power of will that is amazing.
Oh, yeah, she's going to live to be 110 if life depends. I got news for you right now. Trump's picked her successor. She's already decided to say, fuck you, she's not going anywhere.
And
that's nothing political. That's just the way it is. She's a tough old broad. We've been trying to, hack the live stream of, that on the basis of sex for a while now, but we just can't seem to pull it through. So she's also got some pretty good copyright workers out there for her.
Well, I mean, actually, funny story.
Because we get good stuff off that live stream.
So Ruth Bader, I have one personal story about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
This is a family channel.
No, it's true. My civil professor, civil procedure professor in law school.
Hearsay.
No, well, I mean, she's a Justice Hart. She used to be my Civ Pro professor. Now she's a justice on the Supreme Court of Colorado.
Oh, so then it's not hearsay, it's gospel.
Yeah.
There we go.
And so she
Look forward to meeting you one day there,
right?
Justice.
Hi, Melissa. Yeah. Sorry I did so poorly. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, Justice Hart was telling us, because she was talking about her experience in the law and how she worked for a big law firm, Jones Day, for about a year out of law school, and she was on the team to vet Ruth Bader Ginsburg for her Supreme Court appointment. And funny thing about Justice Hart is that Ruth Bader Ginsburg selected her to work for her as a clerk after Melissa Hart graduated from law school, and she turned down Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Turned her down.
Well, apparently it didn't hurt her career.
Didn't hurt her career.
Maybe it was a career move. I mean, this is a conservative state.
But allegedly, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg was in the Jones Day conference room and first-year associate Melissa Hart was there, she not only remembered that Melissa Hart had rejected her, but also remarked that she was the only person who had ever rejected an offer of a clerkship. So,
but I bet you she did it with grace. I mean, you know what? Despite your politics, one thing I will say. You have to look at that woman and say she is one hell of a class act. It's true.
And I want to know what her opinion on red light cameras are.
I mean, and for all you conservatives out there, remember, one of her best friends who she still misses dearly was Anton Scalia, right?
Well, and I think that relationship, doesn't mean you have to be an asshole in order to make your point.
No. I mean, politics today has come so damn divided, and it shouldn't be. By the way, speaking of politics, so apparently Mayor Suthers, congratulations, you definitely solidified your base in your run for governor here in Colorado Springs because, boy, you and your people kicked some ass, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, congratulations to John Suthers. Again, it wasn't really in any dispute that he would win this election.
But the margin.
But the margin.
And the margin.
Lot.
He personally staked his fortune on beating the firefighters union, and look what he did there. Sorry guys, I'm a pro-union guy, but you got your ass kicked.
Well,
whoever put that campaign together for you, what the heck? Come on now.
Well, they got outspent at the very least. I mean, I'll just testify.
And now, you know what? That shouldn't even have been a money issue.
It's always any election.
I'm sorry, you're freaking firefighters, man. You go in the neighborhood, you go in the communities. Little kids want to be you. That's just how it is.
But when your opposition can tell the public that, hey, these guys are making on average $80,000 a year, you aren't even making $80,000 a year.
But it wasn't about the money. I thought there was a very effective job done explaining that they're having equipment problems and that non-firefighting people were making decisions affecting their safety.
Yeah.
In fact, during that whole campaign, I don't think I ever once saw them going for more money. And truthfully, if collective bargaining had passed, those men and women would have seen less money in their paycheck than what they're getting now.
Well, but that's not in the union. That's not in the campaign against union playbook. When you campaign against any union initiative, you divide the people by saying union workers make more, then they make more than you. And it's a tactic that's used. Honestly, Colorado's a great example of that.
Now you're thinking of teachers too, where they say not only do they make more than
and they get summers off,
and they got
right?
great benefits, but they only work 6 months out of the year.
I can attest. My fiance is a school teacher, teaches science at Peyton Junior Senior High School. Shout out to Peyton, Colorado. Yeah, That is true about the summers off, but they don't get Saturdays off because they're grading crap all day. And
don't even.
You know what, Joe?
No
I'm going to
offense.
give you a stack of 9th graders' papers to go through, and you're going to shoot yourself.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm
I'm
going to do the law school method. I'll take it, I'll throw it over my shoulder. Whichever hits closest to Yeager's bed gets an A, and then so forth.
And watch as your contract doesn't get renewed. I mean, honestly, and she teaches at a small rural school where you think the rules aren't applicable.
Well, but
it's
do
insane.
you understand why I've always worked for myself?
Well, right. No rules, just right.
I'm domestic, but I am far from domesticated.
Right.
Oh, by the way, hey, everybody out there, our cameraman Gabe just
Shout,
turned
Gabe.
21.
Yeah.
Gabe's birthday.
Shot.
21. But when we get a chance, can we ask Ms. Monica for some more of this lovely FH Beerworks?
We've got a beer break coming on.
And folks, if you haven't been to FH Beerworks, you got to come down here. Their beer's fantastic. Monica does a great job, even though she's shy and will not come on camera. The beer's great, and of course, they allow us to host this insanely stupid podcast we're doing here.
Joe,
which is
don't
just
give
an
yourself
excuse
too
to
much
drink
credit.
beer and talk to
Don't
people.
give yourself
Thank
too
you.
much credit.
Wait,
What?
you don't think we're insanely stupid?
No, not at all.
It is. Oh.
No, I think insanely stupid if we came in here and talked about. I mean, I don't know. I feel like an insanely stupid topic would be. I don't know. My definition of insanely stupid is varying in the Donald Trump years. It seems like there's a lot of insanely stupid shit that we end up talking about ad nauseum.
Well, you know what? This is a world turned upside down. I mean, seriously. Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun. No, and Monica doesn't want to be on
Come
camera
on,
so
Monica.
bad
Come
that she's
on.
forcing Gabe. I don't think this is even legal.
People,
I honestly don't
you
even
all,
think this is
you
legal.
all ought to protest. You ought to come down to FH Beerworks on Tejon Street. You ask for Ms. Monica, and then when you see her, you tell her you're so pretty and you're so attentive. Why won't you come on camera? It is not nice. She's back there now hiding. Oh! Hey, wait a minute. That deserves a tennis clap. That
If
makes
it
sense.
didn't pick it up, Monica just said she's not getting paid to be on camera.
By the way,
so.
just so you all know, see, lovely logos on the beer glass. FH Beerworks. Tejon Street, and they also have another location on Academy Boulevard, right?
And she's now just ignoring us.
Yeah, now she's ignoring us. But they also have another one at FH Beerworks East.
It is.
Yes.
FH Beerworks East.
East.
Very fine location. Been there once.
It's west of here, but they call it East.
This is just closer. We only have to walk how many feet?
Yeah,
to get here?
no, you're missing my point. They call it FH Beerworks East, but it's really west of here.
It's not west of here. It's
It
east
is.
of here. No. Academy is, to any Colorado Springs residents listening to this, we are on Tejon Street, which runs north-south, west of Academy Boulevard, because Academy shoots up and then, because you're up north. In
Oh, we are
Bryan.
west of Academy
Yeah.
Boulevard.
No, because Academy starts going west.
So it's not
up in
really
Briargate.
east, it's east of Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, if it really were east, it'd have to be in Maine or something. Like if it needs to be
that's my
east.
point. I mean, when you're heading out towards the, land of the nuts, fruits, and granolas, you're going west. When you're heading up the other way, you're going east.
The nuts and fruits and granolas, I feel like the good citizens of the Rocky Mountains and Western Slope take offense to that.
No, I was speaking to California, and
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't know where your head went, but
I just went.
those things happen to be some of their main produce.
Fruits, nuts. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. But I was speaking about California.
Well,
and
what's wrong with
Wait a minute,
California?
no.
California is the place I was born,
Wait a minute,
Joe.
see, but you know what? This does explain something. See, because I'm a liberal, social liberal.
Mm-hmm.
But this does explain the true liberal mindset that drives people crazy. Instantly, because someone brings up California and uses their three main that's their three main products of that state. You instantly think I am mocking like Boulder and the West Range.
The first point.
Admit.
No.
Cognitive dissonance
Nope.
and a bias
Nope.
took over. Admit it.
What happened there is that one, if we want to look at exports in terms of dollar amounts, I'm sure fruits and nuts do not exceed.
Do you want to get back to talking about Richard
services.
Nixon? Do you want to get back to talking about Richard Nixon? Because I just walked you in like a
Look, all
pro.
I'm saying is
Like a
that
boss.
you know who used the words fruits and nuts derogatorily? Richard Nixon, I'm sure at some point, and it's on
He's
tape
from,
somewhere.
by the way, Richard
right?
Nixon was from California.
No, San Clemente. That's where I was born.
Is that your fetish with him?
Maybe. Well, no, but his library's in La Jolla, which I.
But
don't think
yet you
counts.
were born in California, and yet you did not know that was the land of the fruits.
Well, I knew
the
it.
nuts.
No, I knew it's fruit, but again, what can I say?
Granola may have been unfair.
Yeah, see, granola.
Granola, I think's more Oregon.
I feel like you can make granola anywhere.
Yeah, but where did it come from?
I even know yogurt's not popular.
I don't even
Shit.
understand how you make dairy production out here. Back east, you can
There's
like
no
have
water.
like 10 cows an acre. Out here, you need like 10 acres of freaking cow, man.
No, you just grow alfalfa. Joe, you'll learn. You're gonna learn one day.
What about weed? Do they eat weed?
No, alfalfa is way more valuable.
What about I can't wait until someone, instead of like that real expensive Japanese steak, they like do nothing but beer mash and weed. Imagine the cow meat you'll get out of that.
I mean, Joe, are you saying you want to start a ranch? Because I feel like we can get that up and running real quick.
You know what?
We can get you a brand.
The only thing I would do about a ranch is, I like horses and all, but just give me my Jeeps and say the fuck out of my way, and I'll be quite happy. I don't need that other stuff. I get getting up
Joe
at the crack
O'Keefe,
of-
gentleman
If
rancher.
you want to be a farmer or a rancher, you're up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Screw that.
That's not how Ted Turner does it.
Oh, but that's.
Have I tell you about the time I met Ted Turner?
No.
No, so Ted and his wife, they have a house outside the
Which
town.
one?
I used to had the current one.
Oh.
I can't remember her name.
She's probably like a third his age, and it's true love.
Oh no, she's not. She's like 50 something. Anyway, no, I went to his house for a
Well, he's like
fundraiser.
120.
Or I didn't go to his house, but no, we were at a fundraiser at some rich person's house together, and I asked him about Captain
Hey, there's
Planet
Christine. Hi, Chris.
for making it all.
Anyway, sorry, you met Ted Turner.
I talked to him about Captain Planet.
About what?
Captain Planet. You're not unaware of this cartoon Captain Planet?
Yeah, I missed that one.
You've never knew about. So Ted Turner, TBS, he used to have a children's show called Captain Planet, right? And it had this theme song that was great. But the crux of the show is like Captain Planet fought people, big business, right?
Oh yeah, Ted Turner.
No, that's what I always thought about that but like the big businesses, their only business was like dumping sludge into the ocean. And I always thought, and I asked him, it's like, Ted, what was like the whole business rationale behind the villains in Captain Planet? It seems like all they did was dump shit in the ocean.
Was he pissed off at the unions running the
I mean, I don't know.
waste management,
But he told me that that was a common complaint and that he was not responsible. He did not have any editorial responsibility for the cartoon.
Oh, bullshit.
That
he
being
had
said-
control over everything he does.
That being said, I can probably still sing the theme song to Captain Planet.
I bet you.
I bet I can. Anyway, so
Right. But there is a Ted's in Briargate, which I must admit has some very good bison entrees.
and that's what he grew. I mean, that's his ranch, a big bison ranch.
He's got to be 100 and some years.
No, he's not 100. No, but
good
he's
God.
80 something.
No, he's got to be. He's older than freaking dirt.
No, he's not. No, he's not Kirk Douglas.
Hey.
Kirk Douglas is like
And he's still
104.
kicking, isn't he?
Yeah, no,
Last
he's
of the
looking
old
good.
series, badass man. It's like Clint Eastwood.
I mean, Kirk
Although
Douglas is still 20
now,
years
wait a minute.
older than
I
he
ran
is,
into
though.
Clint Eastwood once in California. He's much smaller than you think people. They aim those cameras up. He is not a tall guy at all. Very nice man. Very nice man. By the way,
It's
just so y'all
gratuitous to be
know,
in front.
we FH Beerworks, Tahoe Street, wonderful establishment. You're allowed to bring dogs, unless they start whining like a little, you know what, like Jaeger does sometimes, and then you get banned. But it's not his fault. I never realized this. So intact dogs, which Jaeger is, because his mother is only happy clipping my nuts, not his, he's turned around, and apparently all neutered dogs, they get an alarming scent, so they gang up on the poor thing. So I bring him in here, and it's like, unless he has another intact dog, the poor thing's like, he can't play, he can't do nothing. I know how it feels. It's tough.
I mean, when Bob Barker was out there telling everybody to spay and neuter their pets, it really created a stigma.
Yeah, but Bob Barker just, that he was saying that because he wanted more tail for himself. He was a dog.
Don't be hating on the legacy of Bob Barker.
The only one who was worse than Bob Barker was, what's his name? Chuck, the Gong Show host.
Oh,
who claimed to be with the CIA.
Oh, what the hell is his name? I know who you're talking about, though.
Christine, Gong Show host. Chuck, what's his name?
Chuck Bass for the younger. No, it's not. I don't remember, Joe. I mean, the Gong Show.
Gong Show.
I mean, honestly, if we're going to talk about 70s television,
Anybody know who the Gong Show host was from the 70s?
silence.
Gong Show. Remember the...
Chuck Woolery?
What's his name?
Yeah, Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery. Thank you, my friend.
That was the guy that did.
And not only is your dog beautiful, you just earned a free beer from Dickson Law Group. Thank you.
Even though you're wrong, apparently. Oh, Chuck
Love,
Woolery.
wait, we have a challenge. She's saying he's loved
Someone
it.
break out the smartphone.
All right, we got to break out the smartphone for the final ending.
Anyway,
of
while
this.
Joe's breaking
you still
out the
earned a
smartphone.
beer, but we're just saying you've been challenged.
While Joe's breaking out the smartphone,
Let's see.
70s
Gong
television
Show.
is a common topic around the Dickson Law Group office. We talk about our favorite detective shows. Mine, it tied between Quincy and Kojak, honestly. I feel like Quincy had the best run.
Chuck Barris.
Chuck Barris.
Chuck Barris. Hey, you came close enough. You still earned a beer.
I mean,
Chuck
there's
Barris.
a Chuck.
But you know what? I agree with you. I was thinking of the guy, you think Chuck Barris, you think of the guy who made those outrageous Hot Wheel, hot rods back in the day, right?
Well, that goes way back in the day.
Chuck Barris. So there you got it.
Yeah, so Gong Show. We need one of those right here, a little gong. So
Well,
I can
then
hit
that just means more people need to start showing up for our regular podcast, because not only do we buy beer, we have fun. And with that, it's been another week. Thank you.
It's been another
people.
week. We'll see you next time.